on the line right now is the mayor of Utica, Rob Palmieri. Mayor, thanks so much for calling in.
You're welcome, Bill.
So, I had said this, there's never more time, never been a better time now than this time for leadership in the city, and that kind of falls on you with this parking garage and the hospital downtown. What are your thoughts?
My thoughts are from day one, along with our elected officials from the state, with Assemblyman Brindisi, State Senator Joe Griffo, the county executive, and myself. We have worked extremely hard with MVHS on this project. I think, again, the governor providing $300 million as part of a catalyst to have a state-of-the-art facility that will benefit not only Utica, but the greater Utica area and the surrounding areas is paramount. And I would say at this point, the fact that sometimes people have to leave outside of our city to get some of the medical care because, quite frankly, we don't have either the technology or the physicians to accommodate this. This will be a once-in-a-lifetime for this area.
Yeah.
And, again, I've worked from day one diligently to make sure that this could happen. The city has come on board as part of the team. We have signed a memorandum of understanding, putting together a number of different issues over and above the parking garage, such as the infrastructure, the paving, the utilities, the lighting, curb, and so forth. So the city of Utica and its leadership under this administration has worked extremely hard to make sure this comes to fruition. You're talking close to maybe a $600 million project, and now we're talking about roughly a portion of that with the parking that really seems to be the linchpin of making this come to fruition. And let me just give, I use a lot of analogies and philosophies. You understand, you learn from the past, you understand the present, and you plan for the future. And I think that this administration has shown that from day one, coming with the financial disarray that we had, and there was very little economic development going on. And again, we are at a much better spot. Downtown is booming, and we feel, and again, I feel personally, that a medical office facility, a state-of-the-art campus downtown, is first and foremost providing the best health care to our residents.
Can you get this? Can you get this done? Can you get the council behind you?
I don't listen, Bill. I mean, let's not misrepresent the council. Let's not misrepresent the county executive or anybody. The bottom line is, at this point, I think the council certainly would be supportive of it. I think even the president of the common council, who we disagree on this, as far as the downtown, it becomes financially what is achievable at this point.
Okay.
And that's where we have to be very careful to understand is the fact that the city, as I indicated before, is coming up with dollars and cents. The land that we currently own will be, is kind of deeded over. So we're coming to the table. It's what we could afford, and it's no different in a household. You only have X amount of dollars. And again, that's where we have to go.
Do you have a percentage that you'd be comfortable with? You think the city
percentages of what? That's
the parking garage.
So, okay, but the parking garage could be is it 44, and then you take the tax credits and you come down with a figure. The percentages at this point is I came up with a figure initially when our budget director was here, Pete Ferrarillo, who is no longer with us, who crafted us through an area where we have come and we've been upgraded through all the financial institutes. We have a fund balance. And we still have a very difficult time, making sure that we are able to put a structured budget together. So he came up with a figure of roughly the most he felt at the time was $350,000. I sat with the county executive, and we met, and we both understand how important this is. And at the time I said, he said, I don't think, Mayor, that's going to work. And I said, county executive, I could come up with maybe 500, and that's based on some conversation I had with Bill Morehouse. And that's stretching it. And that's stretching it. But I think the city coming up with $500,000 for the next 30 years And if you're telling me that's not good enough, that's kind of scary, because I think we've come to the table. I think it's beneficial to not only Utica but everyone, and we want this to happen. But on the same token, I structurally have to put a budget together, and what I don't want to have happen is be in the same position we were 5 years ago, 6 years ago, having to reduce our workforce by 20%. Police, fire, DPW. I don't want to go down this road that we've ever gone there before, and I have to make it very clear that the numbers are the numbers. Are there benefits of the hospital? 100%. That just the health care in itself is a main reason why this should go forward. And then you talk about all the other amenities that will happen in our area, having roughly 4,000 people coming down there. There will be a change within the transformation of the greater Utica downtown area. It have to be just because of the numbers of the people there.
Right. Okay. So 500,000 is your number.
Listen, my number was based on the input from our budget director, and what our expenses are.
Got it.
Was $350. But you have to understand, each and every year that you have your salary, your medical, your pension costs, your lease purchases, all go into it.
Yeah. Sure.
Our revenues, we again, the reason why we've been upgraded is because we've shown that we'll make the hard decisions.
Right.
We've shown that, over the last 5 years, we're being able to put a structurally balanced budget together. And at the same time, we have reduced our debt service to the point where we could stay afloat. But the revenues do not meet our expenditures. Our expenditures far outpace our revenues, no differently than any other municipality. So this city and this mayor will do everything in our power to make sure that this goes through, but certainly I can't give a number that I know and the financial institutes were going to tell me you can't afford it.
Got it.
Tony Pacente's number was $1.6 million. We'll round down. It's about a third what you're willing to contribute. Some county legislators want 50-50. You're saying you can go as far as a third. Here's my question. Based on what you've seen, is the police department and the courthouse part of what would be taken for the hospital? What would you do?
I don't believe at this point. I think the only thing that's a definite at this point would be the parking facility, the maintenance, which is our newest of all of them. And again, that's a lot of things that the city is putting into this. If you go back maybe 25 years ago when they were talking about the court facility and the parking, that was an opportunity at that point. So as I said, you learn from the past. That public safety building should have never been there. It should have been moved, and we should have had new technology. It's an older infrastructure, an older building. It doesn't meet our needs. However, if we have to go out and bond, and that's the other thing we have to consider, there's going to be other bonding necessities that the city's going to have to look at as we move forward, such as a public safety facility, such as maybe consolidating our DPW, our parks, our police, and our fire into one centralized maintenance program, such as maybe consolidation of firehouses to make it more palatable. These are all the things that you just can't put all your eggs in one basket. There are going to be things out there we're going to go out and need to bond for the future of our great city.
Let's do this again, Mayor. Thank you so much.
My pleasure, gentlemen.